Hey, how's it going? We're gonna hang out here for a minute while this connects. There we go. Hey, how's it going? I thought I was connected and I wasn't. So here we're gonna try it again. I'm not sure if you can hear me or not. Like I said, the controls on Facebook Live are a little bit different than they used to be. So once we start getting people in, somebody give me a thumbs up if you can hear me all right. We got the Wizard of Oz thing going. So that's this side and that's this side. There. So there. Who's got two thumbs and looks like the wizard? The wonderful wizard. Got the tiki torches going. We're outside tonight. Wanted to do something a little bit different. We've got the birds chirping, and we've got ducks that just landed in the vernal pool back there. So you might get to see them take off if they don't stay the night. I don't know what their plans are. They haven't asked. You can hear it all right? Good. I have an audience member here. One of my family members, my son, is actually going to watch me do this.
More of a technical support.
Technical support, he says. So we'll get a couple of people in here and we'll start tasting. Started doing a little woodworking today, and that should give you a little bit of a hint as to the bourbon we're going to try. So one change is that we're outside. Another change is that the bubble stubble is gone, and the flue dew has been changed. The flue dew, that is a bit of an ordeal. The flue dew, I've gotten to the point where I really just don't like looking like a dog. I don't like having long, shaggy hair. So I bought, for lack of a better way to phrase this, I bought like a Flowbee. It's a trimmer that you can do your own hair, and it's got a vacuum in it, so it sucks the hair that falls. And to be safe, I put on the longest trimmer, the longest one. It's an 8, and by golly, the doggone thing tried to bald me right then and there. So I've had to be creative with the gel and try to make myself look presentable to you. So outside, no bubble stubble, and different flue dew. Hope you're all staying safe. I've got a couple of friends that have reported having fevers, so want to make sure that everybody's doing all right. I've also kind of made an offer that if you're nearby and you want to get out of the house a little bit, I have access to the archery club, and then there's like acres and acres and acres and acres of trail out there, and we can go and we can walk, and if you have a bow, we can shoot it, and if you have a camera, we can take pictures, and if you just want to sit around a fire and talk about how miserable this has been for you, I'll give you a little mental health break. It's another reason why we're outside. Mental health break. Give you an opportunity to just sit outside. If you haven't been outside today, you missed out. It was a beautiful, beautiful day. So, did a little woodworking today. That should give you a little bit of a clue as to the bourbon we're going to be trying. And without any, if anybody is like talking, I don't see anything. So you gonna check it? You gonna see if, because I mean Facebook Live, it's all different now.
Nobody's commenting.
Nobody's
yet.
commenting. Okay.
There's 4 people who are on.
There's 4 people watching. I don't even see that. It doesn't tell me that anywhere. I don't see it. Now, yeah.
We got 5 people now.
5 people. 5 people watching. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't tell me anymore. So, well, 5 is good enough. We're going to go ahead and get started. Yeah, it's me being silly. My technical advisor.
6 people.
6 people. Oh, all right. We're getting to the point now we can open up some bourbon.
Indeed.
We can get this open and we can give it a try. Now, today, we got a couple different things we're going to do. It's a bourbon that I've never tried. I tried to try it once. I was in Louisville last October. And when you say Louisville, you got to kind of swallow it. It's not Louisville. It's Louisville. So anyway, I was there and I wanted to try this bourbon, and it came to me and it had fruit flies in the bourbon glass. So I told her to take it back. She brought me another one. More fruit flies in the glass. The hell. So I said, just take it back and give me the Blantons, as if I'm settling for Blantons. Hey, Mike. Man bun growing here. I don't want to see that. I saw a picture this week. Beautiful girl. I think teen or a little older. Just young, prom age type thing. Maybe out of high school. I don't know. Boyfriend had a man bun. Who thinks that looks good? Who thinks that looks good? Oh, sorry. Calm down. Have a drink, KC. Have a drink. Okay. We'll do that. All right, so did a little woodworking today. I told you that that was kind of a hint for what we're going to be trying. And it is. Old Forester. Now, Old Forester has several different products. They all are kind of identified by their date. And this one is the 1920. This is the one that's been recommended to me over and over and over again. I think when I was in Louisville, I tried the 1910. Maybe that's why I had the fruit flies. But we're going to try the 1920. And, of course, we're going to try it in a proper glass. Now, one of the things that we're going to do different this time, and this is exciting to me. Can you tell? I'm coming out of my skin. It's going to be fantastic. So we showed you the Glencairn. You got to swallow that too, I guess. Ralph, I have super long hair, never a man bun. Well, you'd have to put it in the front of your face. Because he's got a beard that I think he steps on sometimes. Anyway, so the Glencairn glass, we're not using this today. No. The reason we're not going to use this today, oh, you like the Grant is on. Grant runs a bourbon group, as a matter of fact, and he likes the Old Forester. He says it's the best of the bunch, so we're going to find out. But we're not going to use this today. And the reason we're not going to use this today is because this is actually considered more of a Scotch glass. And I knew this when we started, but this is what I had. So this is what we used to drink the bourbon neat, which is the way you always start with drinking the bourbon. But we're not going to do this today because I got something new. I'm stoked. I'm so excited. I might tinkle a little. This is an actual Bourbon Trail glass. Found this online. There was a dozen of them in the box. It was a great deal. This is Libby glass, and this is the official glass of the Kentucky Bourbon Trail. Now you can see that it is similar. It has the flute up top, which is going to help bring the aroma into your nose a little bit. Not quite as drastic as the Glencairn glass. But we're going to go with this one today because it is the official glass. And I got this just for you. See? Okay. All right, so let's pop this baby open. Oh! Do you hear the choirs singing? Do you hear the angels? I hear the angels. I do. All right. So, of course, the way that we do it first is to try it neat. Now, I'm going to pour it, and I'm going to bloviate for a few minutes so it can sit here and air out. Now, the nice thing about this glass is it doesn't have to air out quite as long as a Glencairn glass because it's got a wider top that's going to allow the air and the aromas to get in there. It's going to allow it to kind of settle down and you know, not make me turn this car around. So we're just going to let that sit for a minute. Hope everybody's doing okay. Found out a couple of friends have fevers, and of course they're a little scared. I hope everybody's doing okay and staying home and being safe. Chris is with us. No, Chris, it wasn't made in 1920. I could try to read the bottling date on there for you, but then I'd have to put on my glasses. And if I have to put on my glasses, I got to kill you.
You want me to read it?
No, I don't want you to read it. You're underage. You can't touch it.
I can't read
You
it.
can't look at it. The boy.
I'm your technical advisor.
The technical advisor. Excuse me. So anyway, I hope you're all staying safe, and I hope that you're not going stir crazy. One of the reasons we're outside today is just different atmosphere. Give us the sounds of the birds. We've got ducks behind us. Oh, see, listen to him sing. It's so relaxing. I hope you got out today. All right, so, and I've got a couple other little things we're going to try too. We're going to goof around and have some fun with the bourbon. Um, the Old Forester, this one is just one. There's a 1910. There's a 18 something. Uh, there's a master distiller. There's a ton of different types of Old Forester. This has got probably one of the widest lines of whiskeys that are actually named Old Forester. Like Buffalo Trace, I mean, you'd be hard pressed to find a distillery that makes more brands than Buffalo Trace. But Old Forester, all of them that they make, well, not all of them that they make, a lot of them that they make, they actually have the Old Forester name on it. And the different types of bourbons that they have the different dates attached to it, like the 1920, the 1910, the 18, whatever the hell it is, something like that. So, and if, there's just a ton of different ones, and they're all different. They're all different. There's a single barrel, there's a blend, there's just a ton of different things. They do have lower end whiskeys, just like Buffalo Trace does. This is considered their gold star line. This Old Forester in the 1920 is one of the favorites, and 1910 is another one of the favorites. This one was recommended to me because it's supposedly smoother than the 1910. I don't know yet. I haven't tried the 1910 yet either. As a matter of fact, this is disgusting. I'm sorry. I have to come clean. This is my very first drink of any Old Forester ever. It should have been one of my first. I'm sorry. I know. They say this is Prohibition style. It says this whiskey is distilled by U.S. only. No, by us only. By us only. And we are responsible for its richness and fine quality. Its elegant flavor is solely due to original fineness. I don't think that's a word. We'll let it slide. For the bourbon. Fineness. Developed with care. There's nothing better in this market. That's the founder, George Brown. Then it takes me to responsibility.org. I have been as responsible as I can be during this thing. I'm staying at home. I'm ordering my bourbon from FedEx. It was funny. I told somebody today that FedEx delivered this bourbon. He's like, FedEx delivers booze? I'm like, yeah. This happened to come from a place called Del Mesa, which is in San Diego. They take great care when they do their packing. It got here in about 5 days. The prices were reasonable. I mean, there's some things they got on there. The prices are stupid. Stupid. Like, I can get a bottle of McKenna for, what, less than $50? And on there, they're like 85. Kiss my round one. But this is pretty well packaged, and it got here quick. The shipping was reasonable. I got, I think, 5 bottles, and it was $30 or something like that. So, anyway, you weren't impressed with the trailer. Oh, that's for something else, I think. So, 1920. Oh, I got a scroll. You guys are talking to me. I'm sorry. Just a guesstimate knowledge. There's a deer too. There's not a deer back there.
Chris says
I
we
might
have
need
background actors and KC and the bourbon.
I see that. Yeah. Oh, and my son is actually talking. There's another one. So good. Hey, Caleb. Go get your dad's glasses. Tom, shut up. You get your glasses. All right, let's give this a try. I think it's set long enough. Okay. First, I can get better nose out of the Glencairn glass. We are outside and the wind is blowing a little bit. Hopefully you're not hearing that.
There was one point when it did.
One point you could hear it, but generally no?
Generally, no.
Good. Okay. You know, we video guys, we're real sensitive to sound. Okay. Okay. It's peppery. sweet. There's definitely a sweetness to it. Um, I concur with Tom about the glasses. Chris, I've been nothing but nice. Don't ever agree with Tom. Don't ever agree with Tom. Ever. Cinnamon. Cinnamon's heavy. It's definitely got a heavy spice to it. The oak is coming out on the nose of this one. This is the first one that we've tried that the oak was present on the nose. Mike is saying, "Just drink it." On our very first one of these Bourbcasts, I'm going to start calling it a Bourbcast. I told a story, and this is, and Mike kind of reminds me about this. And I'll tell the story again just briefly. A friend of mine said that he had his son and a friend over, and they were going to drink Blanton's, and he poured it and let it sit for a couple of minutes. It was time to drink it, and the son and the father did their little sip, and then the friend went, and they're looking at him like, "You don't do that. This isn't Jim Beam. This isn't Jack and Coke. This isn't tequila. You don't do that. You take your time with it." Okay. Toffee's present. I'm not catching any of the sweeter stuff like vanilla. It does have a sweetness to the nose, but it's not a vanilla sweetness that I'm getting, at least not out here in the breeze. So, but the pepper, caramel, toffee, and oak, definitely oak. All right, so to satisfy Mr. Mike, I'm a sensitive kind of guy. Yes, I am.
Since the breeze picked up, there's a bit more air noise.
There's a little air noise. You'll be all right. Yeah, just here we go.
Smooth, right?
Should have taken maybe a little smaller sip of that one. That's 115 proof. I just looked over. That's 115 proof. That's good. It's not heavy hitting on the tongue. That bloom we've been talking about isn't there. As well, it's there. It's definitely there, but it's not like it's there. Um, it's quite delicious. The oak and the pepper come through on the palate. The cinnamon is there on the palate as well. I think my eyes are watering. Wow. I should have taken a smaller sip. I should have looked to see it was 115 proof right away. I'd have taken a smaller sip to begin with right there.
Your face is also turning red.
My face is turning red too?
Your face is turning red.
Maybe I'm just blushing. It's the color temperature. Everything's changing because the sun's going down. Whatever. Where's the cigar to pair with it? I stopped doing that. A long time ago, I stopped doing cigars because when I smoke a cigar, I can't taste anything. I can't taste food. I can't taste bourbon. I can't taste anything. It ruins my taste buds for days. And I'm allergic to smoke, so that doesn't help either. So no cigars anymore. I don't smoke. I used to even smoke a pipe a little bit because I thought it was, kind of cool. Don't even do that anymore. Just the smoke. As much as I wanted to do it, it just killed me. So no smoking for me. All right, we're going to go back to this again. Is there an EMT standing by? Chris, settle. Just settle. It's okay. Try it with some dark chocolate. That might be really good. I do like chocolate with my bourbon. I can do that. You got a chocolate cigar? Okay, let's try this again.
I don't think you should burn chocolate.
Burn chocolate?
Yeah,
No, you don't smoke the chocolate, Caleb. The boy.
The 16-year-old boy, of which is your son.
All right, so there's a notification that just came up. Somebody else is watching. Hi, Sherry. Sherry's a client, so now I have to watch my language, which is cool. Sherry owns Garner Trucking, so if anybody's looking for a job, they need truckers. They do. There's a shortage of like 500,000 jobs, and they could all be driving trucks. So That's for you, Sherry. She's my friend. I trust her. Okay. Now I need to get off this pop-up so I can read the rest of there we go. Okay, try it with a small piece of dark chocolate. Okay, so I don't have any. The best I could do is M&Ms. Okay, anyway, back to this because I want to give you the palate. I want to give you the flavor profile. You know what it is on the nose. I'm going to take a smaller sip this time. Mm. That's fantastic. Why haven't I had this before? Grant, I blame you. Um, Still peppery, very oaky. Not as oaky as like a Woodford Reserve, but the oak is very present in it. The cinnamon is standing out in it as well. Um, this is a spicy one, and I don't mean like I mean it's spicy. It's got a lot of spice to it. This is of the bourbons that we've tried so far. This is probably the most complex of them. There's a lot going on in this glass. Um, it's got an earthy tone to it. Maybe kind of woody a little bit. Now that may be the oak coming through, um, but it's I mean, and the finish is very oaky. Um, Again, very spicy. The one thing I like about this one that so far the other ones that we've tried, um, the nose has been one thing, the palate has been something else, and the finish has been something else. This is pretty consistent all the way through. The cinnamon, the oak, the toffee, the caramel, the pepper, those things that I started with on the nose went to the palate and now is in the finish as well. With the oak and the toffee maybe standing out in the finish, to be sure. And the pepper. That is delicious. This is probably the favorite one that I've tried so far. And Grant is probably going, duh. So, so anyway, this is for those of you joining us late. We normally drink out of a Glencairn glass when we do this neat. This time we're doing it in an official glass of the Kentucky Bourbon Trail. So it still has the fluted top, still allows you to get good nose. It's a little tougher out here because it's a little bit breezy, but you're not going to be able to get a big old ice cube in there. Speaking of ice cubes, excuse me. All right.
That was a good one.
Thank you, son. All right. Oh, before we do the ice cube, that's going to be fine. It's a little chilly out here. As a matter of fact, my bourbon was nicely chilled just because the air has been chilly. I want to show you something. Something else that we can try. I'm going to need to pour myself a little bit more. I hope that's okay. All right. So this is something that we haven't done yet. And I wanted to give you another option for your bourbon. So this one took me by surprise at 115. Now, proof. Some people may not dig 115 proof. I have some friends that don't drink a lot of whiskey, so they need to have it subdued. One way to do that is with water. Now, we've done it with ice a couple times. But if you don't want your bourbon to be cold so much, you just want it to be brought back from the brink of destruction, you can add a little water to it. This is a big Scotch trick, by the way, adding water to Scotch, but a lot of people do it with bourbon too. And the idea is that it's going to open up a little bit. It's going to mellow it out, open up the flavors, let you try some different things without using an ice cube. And again, we've been sitting outside. It's a little chilly now. It was beautiful earlier today, but this is naturally chilled. This is going to be naturally chilled as well. But we're just going to toss a little bit of water in there. That should be more than enough. That glass is cool. This is what they served the Kahlua in when I went on my last cruise. I love Kahlua. All right. So we don't need to give this too much work. But we're going to try it, dilute it a little bit.
becomes a big sip?
It's diluted. It can be a big sip. The heat's still there. Not as prevalent, but it's still there. The alcohol content is 115 proof. It's going to be there. Something went boom.
And now the dogs are going, woo.
I don't know what that was.
Check the radar real quick.
You know what it could be? It could be Armageddon. That could be the sound of the four horsemen coming down through the sky. And if that's the case, I'm glad I've got bourbon in my hand. This is how I want to go. This is part of how I want to go. The rest of it is my son sitting there. I can't say the rest of it.
It's nothing I haven't heard before.
NC-17. I'll just do this. This is a hint. That's all I'm going to say. That's what this and that. I'm good.
Oh, it's cute. You think I'm that innocent.
So everything that was there before is still there. And that's another thing that I like about Old Forester 1920 is that it doesn't lose its character and it doesn't completely change when you add a little water to it. And that's nice because sometimes you do that and the characteristics change completely. Cinnamon, toffee, caramel, light on the caramel, the oakiness, it all stays there, and I think that's the thing that's the most impressive about the Old Forester, is that it all stays. It's a very complex pour, but holy cow, I love the fact that its character doesn't change. All right, now let's get to the ice. The ice won't fit in the official glass of the Kentucky Bourbon Trail, and it definitely won't fit in the Glencairn glass. So we have to use one of these. All right. What? Another pour? Yeah, that's what we're here to do. By the way, I hope you're drinking something at home with me. I would like to know what you're drinking, so tell me in the comments. What are you sipping on? What are you sipping on at home? I've been leaving this a secret too, by the way. Would you like me to tell you earlier what I'm going to be drinking so that you can get some while we're, have some? Or, excuse me a minute, or would you like to make suggestions, recommendations, requests, as it were, as a radio DJ? So I'll take requests, right? Hey, how's it going? If you want to do a request and tell me what you want me to try, if I haven't already tried it, I'll be good to do that. I'll be good to do it. So, but if I have tried it, then you want me to drink water? Well, I just happen to have some here. Thank you very much, Tom. Some people got to be turds. Oh, that's delicious. It's a little bit chlorine-y. All right, so the nice thing about this is that ice ball is so huge that it doesn't take much to get it up to the line. I like to get it up to the line. So, okay, so we'll put that there, put that there. Now, I'm expecting the characteristics of this to stay the same, despite the fact that I put ice in it. I haven't watered it down because the ice is still pretty well frozen. It hasn't had the chance to dilute anything. There's no water in this one. So, and it was already chilled because of the air out here. So I'm guessing that it's going to be pretty much the same as it was in the official glass of the Kentucky Bourbon Trail. All right, let's find out. The nose has been stifled some. That could be just because it's been sitting out for a little while. I've had the cork off the bottle. But generally, everything that I said before is holding true. The cinnamon is standing out. The oak is standing out. So here we go. I love these big ice balls. Okay, the characteristic did change a little bit. I feel like it brought out more of the toffee and the caramel. But it's all still there. It's all still there. The pepper's still there. The oak is still there. This is a great pour. This is probably one of the best pours I've done in a while. Um, Now, my other bourbons, when I just sit down and watch television at night and I have a drink, I'm not doing all of this. I'm not adding an ice cube to it. I'm not playing with it like this. And I'm not trying it in different glasses and adding water to it and all those things. So I don't get a chance to test them all along the line to see if they are able to hold on to their characteristics throughout. This is the first, well, this is the third, I guess, with Rebel Yell and Peerless that I've done this with. And this is the first that's been able to hold its integrity throughout. Old Forester 1920 is what we're drinking, and it's beautiful. It's fantastic. This is it says it's Prohibition style. In 1920, this is Chris. This is why they name it this. I'm going to read this to you. Okay, in 1920, during Prohibition, Owsley Brown was granted a limited permit to bottle medicinal whiskey at 117 West Main Street on Louisville's Whiskey Row. The typical... Damn it.
Just let me
Damn
read it.
it. The typical barrel proof at that time, prior to bottling, was 115. So the 115 proof, which is what this is what they did for medicinal purposes, which means not only am I doing social distancing, I'm taking my medicine. All right.
Just no.
I should do an intro to bourbon video for beginners. Terminology processing. Okay, Ralph. Let me drink a little bit first. Butterscotch. That's something that I picked up with it being iced down that I didn't pick up with it before when it was neat. I got butterscotch that time. And I told you last week, sometimes you're going to do this. You're going to take different sniffs, you're going to take different tastes, and all of a sudden something's going to hit you. Well, this time something hit me, and it was butterscotch. Okay, so, Ralph, bourbon. What makes a bourbon a bourbon? Well, one of the differences between bourbon and whiskey is that bourbon has to be made in the United States of America. It has to be 51% corn. It has to be aged in a charred oak barrel. It has to be 80 proof or higher. Those are basically the main characteristics that are different from bourbon to whiskey. So the stuff that they sell at Walmart that they call whiskey that's like 40 proof, that's what? 40 is, that's like 20% alcohol. It's like a wine cooler. No, it's even better than a wine cooler. But anyway, that stuff is puke, and you're never going to get bourbon off that. You'll get whiskey off of that. Jameson is an Irish whiskey, therefore not made in the USA, so it cannot, even if they had the exact same mash bill, even if it had the same corn content, the same rye content, or barley, or whatever they make stuff out of, it would have to be whiskey because it's not made in the USA. Another one's Crown Royal. That's a delicate whiskey. It has a whole bunch of different flavors to it. By the way, their XR is amazing. It's the extremely rare. It came from LaSalle Distillery. It is fan-stinking-tastic. But it's Canada, so therefore cannot be called a bourbon because it's not made in the USA. So those are just some little things. If you want to learn a lot about bourbon, there is a documentary on Hulu called Neat, N-E-A-T, and it is a fantastic documentary that'll tell you everything that you ever wanted to know about bourbon. But that's a short little primer there. Consider it Cliff Notes. Cliff Notes. Let's see if there's anything else I can think of. I talked a little bit about this glass. This is a Glencairn glass. This was generally the glass of Scotch, but it's used for whiskey too because it's great to get the nose. The flute will bring the scent right up into the nose. This being the official glass of the Kentucky Bourbon Trail, does a lot the same. It's not as focused as this is, but it does a nice job because it's also fluted and brings the scents right into the nose. And of course, we taste with our nose as much as we do with our tongues, right? So that's why that's important. Um, I think that's what I wanted to get across today. Last week we talked about ways to chill your glass without using ice. Had a whiskey bullet and had some stainless steel balls and things like that. Spheres is what they call them. So that way my son is not giggling over there when I say balls.
I say that's what she said. I'm not
That's what
giggling.
she said. I got it. It's the title of your sex tape. I get it. Okay. You're welcome, Ralph. That's what I'm here to do, is to help. So those are the basic things about bourbon. The ice down. The only difference that I got was the butterscotch. Everything else is staying consistent with what I got when it was neat, and with water, and now with ice. So back to it. We're doing Old Forester 1920. There are a lot of different Old Forester names. The 1910. There's an 1800 something. There's a blah 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 blah. There's a lot of them, and I have a lot of them. I haven't tasted any of them except for this one right now, and I think this one and I are gonna just enjoy the evening together. We're just gonna kind of, enjoy the evening together. Ooh. Oh. 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 My goal is to make each one of these a little bit different. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. I think we've just about reached the end because I want a little private time now. But thank you for watching. I am enjoying doing this. I'm enjoying the fact that you're coming along and you're enjoying the ride with me. And please, if you think of a way that you want to see it change, if you want to suggest a bourbon that you want me to try, and I have the right to say no. And it doesn't always have to be bourbon. It can be whiskey if you want me to do whiskey. I don't like Jameson very well. I'm not a fan, so don't ask me to drink that one. Okay? I would like to stick with bourbons that I haven't tried, so if I have tried it, I will say, I ain't doing that one. I've already tried it. I already know what I want to do next week. I almost did it this week and changed my mind at the last second, almost literally. So next week, I think I know what I'm going to do. It's one I've never tried before. It's one that's very, very difficult to find in Ohio. I don't think I've ever seen it in Ohio. Matter of fact, I've got 2 bottles of it. I bought them both in Kentucky, and I have not opened either one of them. So I think I know what I'm going to do next week. But if somebody gives me a suggestion that I like better and I haven't tried it, because I've got a lot of bourbon here that I have not tried, so I'm willing to do that for you during this crisis. Distillery tour videos. I have not taken a distillery tour yet. I've been to several of the distilleries and I've been to their gift shops, but I was waiting to take a bourbon trail tour when the wife could get off work and she and I could just go, and maybe with a group of people, and go enjoy ourselves. And I eventually want to do the entire trail. And what's cool about the trail is that they're adding more and more stops all the time. Excuse me a minute. So,
That makes 3.
huh?
That makes 3.
That's 3?
That's 3
I've done
or
it
4.
3 times?
That's 3 or 4.
Well, I've had 3 different drinks. That's okay.
And 1 was water.
And 1 was water. Well, but I put the water in it, so that was a different. Anyhow, so I want to do the bourbon trail, and I'd like a group to go, and I think it would be a lot of fun because I think I know more about bourbon than I did like a year ago, but there's just so much more to learn, and I look forward to doing that. And if I ever do take the trail tour, you'll be coming along with me. Another thing I want to do, and this is just something that's kind of in the works, and I don't know if it's going to happen, but I've been working with a partner. I still run my video company and things like that, but I've been working with a company, and I've been doing a lot of their editing. And I've pitched to them kind of like a drive-ins, diners, and dives type of deal. Only instead of drive-ins, diners, and dives, it's going to be the best bartenders in America. Because I'm infatuated with bartending. I think it's one of the neatest forms of art that remains just, it's like the frontier. Everything is so different. I went to a place in Cincinnati called Japs, and the old fashioned I got there made with larceny. Normally they make their old fashions with Old Granddad, which is fantastic. I like Old Granddad, but larceny, I like larceny. It's a lower end bourbon, but it tastes great. It's a little smoky, but it makes one hell of a great old fashioned. I had never had that in an old fashioned, and I never had the way this bar, Japs in Cincinnati, made it. And the bartender was super cool, and they were very, very busy, and he was nice enough to be nice to me while they were busy, which is saying something. But I would like to take a tour. I'd like to do a video series about bartenders across the USA. So that's maybe in the works, maybe not. I see that bourbon instead of wine, it's sideways. Talking movies, I have a movie I'm going to be doing if we ever get out of this crisis crap. And I've told the writer, I'm stepping back. I'm only going to direct the writer. I told him, there better be bourbon in the script. I'm telling you, it's a berry bourbon where I'm rewriting it and you're fired. Okay, I didn't use the F word. I didn't say fired. But he better do bourbon. All right, so I think we've gone on long enough. I don't even know how long we've gone. 41 minutes? 41 minutes? Sorry. Thank you for staying engaged. Glad you're here. We're going to go because the bourbon and I haven't finished this one. I haven't finished this one. I haven't finished this one. So
Your face is already red. I don't think you need to finish that one.
my face is going to stay red because I'm going to keep doing this. It's really quite good. If you're looking for a bottle, I can highly recommend Old Forester 1920. It's possibly going to be a little hard to find, especially right now. I would tell you that if you really want to try this bourbon, and I think you do, I would tell you to go on Facebook and look up Del Mesa Liquor, then go to their website and order it. It'll take about 5 days to get to you, but they take great care in packing. The prices are reasonable. Excuse me. The shipping costs are reasonable. It'll allow you to get what you want and stay separated from other people. I will tell you that if you're going to get Old Forester 1920 from Del Mesa, you should probably think about getting some other ones as well. If you go onto their sale page, it's very, very likely that you'll find Buffalo Trace on sale. You'll find Eagle Rare on sale. You'll find last week's, maybe not. I was going to say we did Peerless 2 weeks ago. You may not find that one on sale, but you'll find some other ones. The more you order, the better the shipping price. I just ordered 2 more. This is my second shipment. I ordered 2 more just today because they were available, and I've been waiting for these. And I'm not going to tell you what they are. Some of you could probably guess, but I'm not going to tell you what they are. Anyway, I ordered them, and they're coming, and it was a little more steep to do shipping on 2 items than it was on 5 or 4. So take advantage of the fact that they have reasonable shipping and get the bottles that you want. It'll help you stay separated from other people, and it'll help you get the bottles that you want that are tough to find in Ohio, like Eagle Rare and Buffalo Trace and some of the other ones. So Del Mesa Liquor, they're located in San Diego, California, and I've talked to them via Messenger, and I have been very pleased with their customer service. They're just really, really nice folks, and they care about every single bottle they send. So that's who I'm going to recommend to you. Yeah, going out into the stores is fun. I went to the store in Maumee the other day, and I found a few of them that I was looking for. Not going to tell you what they were because they're probably going to find out their way here on the Bourbcast. But I was pleased to find what I found. But every time I do that, I put myself at risk.
It's worth it for bourbon.
Huh?
It's worth
it
for bourbon.
for bourbon? If I'm not here to drink it, it doesn't do anybody any good. And all your mother's going to do is sell it. All of it. Because bourbon upsets their stomach. So this is all me. I got a woman who can't drink bourbon and 2 minors. Mine. All right, guys. I love you guys. Thank you for being with me all this time. I appreciate it. I'm going to go now. I'm going to spend some time with this here bottle. I'm going to finish these. And let me know what you want to do next week. Tell me all about it. I'll listen. In the meantime, thanks again for watching. I have had a blast.